Hello and welcome to Sports Highlight of the Week, or as we have called it, Shot News
Shot news with a W.
with a W.
Shot with a W. Shot winner.
There you go, Shot with a W. It's a new way to spell it. Obviously, there's not lots of sports going on at the minute, so we're grasping at straws for news. But something that did happen at the beginning of last week was Paul Pogba and Graham Souness had another well received spat. I don't know if you saw this, Ant.
Yeah, I
Um,
did. Well, he's always picking any at Pogba, Souness.
Yeah, I mean, I did think it was quite funny. Pogba was on the United podcast. It was probably filmed a few months ago, and basically said he doesn't know who Souness is. Sorry, doesn't know who he is. Didn't know who he was as a player. He said he believes he was a good player, and I remember someone on Twitter showing a picture of Graham Souness playing a back pass to the goalkeeper from 45 yards, and I'm going to imagine Paul Pogba's had that up in his on repeat on YouTube since he started this feud with him.
What is wrong with Graham Souness though? Seriously, what has he got against this guy?
I don't know. He's just
Seriously,
an angry man, isn't he?
yeah, he's just generally pretty angry. I mean, has him and Roy Keane ever been in the studio together?
Yeah, it's just two angry
A
men
little bit
who
uncomfortable, that wasn't it? If you saw them next
and
to each
angry.
other.
Yeah, I feel bad for the presenter sometimes when it's them two in the studio with him.
He just really
Probably
hates him.
scared.
From what I've watched, he just really hates him. You'll find there'll be a game, and you've lost by say 2 goals to nil. It was a close match, and he'll be like, "Well, where was Pogba?" And he'll be in the dressing room now, and he'll be dancing, and it's like, "Well, how do you know? Just leave the guy
There was
alone."
there was a time when he was suspended for a game, and I think when he went for his brother's wedding, he brought the game back to Pogba, even though he didn't even play. And I was just like, you can't bring it back to a guy that's not on the pitch, affecting the game. But yeah, I don't know if you saw Sky Sports' reaction. They did sort of a YouTube. They've started doing more YouTube now, obviously with no sport. And they invited Jamie Carragher on, and he was sort of stirring the pot a bit like that girl Regina George from Mean Girls.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Yeah, so he was sort of trying to stir the pot and put some words in Graham Souness's mouth, and then I don't think anyone needs to do that. I'm sure he's a big boy and he can speak for himself.
Good old Jamie Carragher. He was a great player, wasn't he?
Underrated.
Cue all the pictures of Jamie Carragher making mistakes like this one,
Own goals.
and that one, and that one, and don't forget that one. Yeah, Souness hates Pogba. We've known that for a while, but I like the fact that Pogba's sort of bit back. If I'm being honest, I think it's quite funny.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
okay, the next thing we've got on the news headlines for this week is Joshua. He's been having fun recently, I believe, calling people out. Um,
Easy to do it in lockdown, isn't it?
he's actually called out everyone. Well, he gets a lot of stick, doesn't he? 'Cause he has to fight his contenders. His number one
Yeah.
contenders, obviously, and I get that. I have a lot of time for Joshua, by the way, in case you haven't already noticed. He's called out Tyson Fury, Dylan White, and Usyk all at once because they're all the sort of names that are floating around him at the minute. Um, for me, yeah, I think Dylan White obviously schooled him twice. Has he schooled him now?
No, I think it was one. They're one each, aren't they? Because Dylan White won in the amateurs, I think.
Nah, you can't count that though, can you? You can't count
Yeah.
that.
Dylan White
Um,
does. Dylan White does.
Usyk, again, he's pretty new to the heavyweight division. I
I
still
believe
think,
Usyk could struggle. He's probably the easiest on that list,
yeah,
despite how good he is.
I
But
think he would as well. Yeah,
can
just
he
with the
make a
sheer
step?
size and power of Joshua.
He's got Chisora, hasn't he? Whenever it gets back to fighting,
Yeah,
so
uh,
Chisora should.
but for me, Fury is a completely different ball game altogether. He's arguably one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world, Fury, and
Arguably of all
possibly
time, in my opinion.
possibly one of the hardest fights Joshua's ever going to face. He's completely different to any heavyweight he's ever fought before. Obviously,
He's,
I wouldn't know who to sort of support and who I'd want to win because I love them both, if I'm being honest.
I
But
think
if
mine
they,
would be Tyson Fury because he's from Manchester,
yeah,
originally.
well, that's the only thing I can sort of hold on to with Fury.
Yeah,
The only thing that drags him down a bit is that he's a red.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, that just puts him up in my book, mate.
bothers me
So
a bit, but yeah, no, I mean it'd be a great fight. I just wouldn't know who to sort of back. I'd love to get a bet on it though.
Love the
um,
build up as well. It'd just be nice to have that build up. Just
yeah,
shit talk from Fury, man.
but I think the other fights that need to get sort of signed up and going as well is I'd quite like to
Yeah.
see Wilder fight Dylan White.
Yeah.
I think that might be a
I feel Wilder needs a fight against a high ranker after that schooling from Fury,
I
to be
think
honest.
I think Usyk might be worthwhile going up against Povetkin or someone like that maybe.
Yeah. Well, he's got Chisora
Um,
first, hasn't he, for like
y-
his heavyweight debut, so
yeah, well if you can get through that, maybe give him that sort of a fight, and really
yeah.
test him. He's not an amateur boxer; he's just new to the weight
No.
division, so it doesn't really matter.
He's
But yeah, I think obviously Joshua and Fury would be a class fight.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
it'd be, I mean, if Fury won that and unified all them belts again, that would just be like the.
I think he'd retire after that.
I
He's
think he might.
nothing else to do.
That's it. I mean, he's at the top of the game there, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
Never lost a fight. Obviously, Joshua has lost a fight.
Yeah.
Um,
To
yeah,
the Snickers eating machine.
yeah, I know.
Maybe.
Which everyone
Yeah,
was surprised at, but it's his cocky nature again. I don't think he'd be cocky against Fury. I think he knows Fury's a good fighter. But I
definitely.
do feel like Fury wants to fight more than he does. I do feel like he has sometimes taken an easier path than he needed to.
Yeah.
I have a lot of time for Joshua. He's still a great boxer. I'm not saying getting in the ring with anyone's easy. But
Just to point this out, Ant's not saying he wants to get in the ring with Anthony Joshua. He's not calling him out for a fight. He's not
definitely
saying
not. Yeah.
saying this guy dodges everyone.
If anyone, if
Come and
by
fight
our
me.
wildest, if by our wildest dreams Joshua's watching this, I don't want to fight you, and I'm sorry, and have my dinner money. Um, anyway, moving quickly on before I do get knocked out. Um, we've got the Newcastle United takeover.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
been reading this. They're becoming the new city, aren't they, mate?
I
New
believe
city.
so. I believe so. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the
It's
Rubinho links.
well,
That's
it's
what I'm
been
waiting
happening for
for.
a while. Never mind just the Rubinho links, all the links. He'll be linked with Torres. They'll be linked with Messi. Everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Mbappe, Vidal.
Can you
Of course,
imagine?
they want to play at St James's Park.
But they actually have been linked with Vidal.
I know they have, yeah.
Um, that's one for the transfer news anyway. If you haven't watched that,
Yeah.
please do. Um, yeah, this would be amazing for them, wouldn't it? I mean, this is the sort of thing they needed. It has seemed to have been nearly happening over the last 6 months quite a few
Yeah.
times. It's always,
I
oh, it's
mean,
close.
they had a failed one with a different group, didn't they? Is that woman in the picture? Or is she just
Possibly.
part of this
I
group? I
think,
think that might be the woman in the picture, yeah.
yeah, I think she was one of them actually. This might be from a while ago, this picture, actually,
Yeah,
thinking about it.
they had a failed bid from some investment group. I mean, I do feel sorry for Newcastle because they're a decent sized club at the end of the day. And I
Yeah,
associated them with like finishing near top four, top five.
yeah.
And they just sort of had a bit of a demise as I was growing up.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just a selfish billionaire, isn't it? Draining the club
yeah.
and using it as a piggy bank, really.
Well, he's doing it to his staff as well, isn't he? At
Yeah,
the company that he
sports
runs.
direct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, this would be great for Newcastle, obviously. Few
I think
little
it.
bits of advice for Newcastle fans. If this does happen, expect a lot of tag-along fans. Don't expect your fan
Yeah,
base to stay the same. There'll be a lot of fans that go, not for me, and go, happen with City. There'll be a lot of fans that go, well, this is exciting, we could actually win something here, and they'll stick around. And there'll be some fans that go, oh, Chelsea are boring now, I'm going to go support Newcastle because they've got loads of money. And it will happen. You just have to get used to it. All I can say is enjoy the good times. Because in the times when you lose a game 1-0 at home to Brighton, for example, like when we lost to Palace last season 3-2 at home, there was a lot of City fans online going mental, oh, we've lost to Palace, da, da, da. And I sometimes sit back and some of the accounts I follow on Twitter, which I won't plug just yet, except for Stephen McNerney, class, follow him. Yeah, I sit back and look now and I just think, God, this new era of fans, they have no idea like what it used to be like.
yeah. I
Like
think
we've lost
there'll be
one
a bit of
game,
that, won't there?
just relax. And yeah, like I say to Newcastle fans, you will get that, but sit and enjoy the good times. Enjoy your games against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu when you're beating them. Enjoy that first trophy that you win after such a long time. I don't know how long it's been for Newcastle.
Obviously,
Um,
touch wood this goes through on behalf of like every Newcastle fan.
yeah, I somewhat want it to go through because I feel like this is where football's going anyway, to be honest.
I want it to go through because in a few years this channel will be rebranded and it'll be one red and one white flag.
Red and Magpie.
Yeah, Red and Magpie, because he'll be switching shit to Newcastle
Oh,
United.
here
He
we
goes
go.
where the money goes.
You see, and also Newcastle fans, this is what you'll get. You'll get told that you're a glory hunter and you want to go where the money go. I and Nick both know that that is not the case. I've
I
mentioned
just
my,
like when
my first game, with Kevin Phillips shush. He just likes me mentioning it. It doesn't bother me that much, but he likes me mentioning that my first game was a hefty loss to Birmingham City.
that.
Anyway, let's move on from this one. Let's move on to the next one we've got. Oh, this was brilliant. This was brilliant. Johnny only saw this. I think I saw it this morning for the first time, and I just thought it was
Oh,
great. So basically, a 5-year-old lad who supports Leeds United from Leeds. Um, I think he has a player, Ben White, on loan at the moment over at Leeds from Brighton. So he's enjoying sort of the way he's playing so much that this little 5-year-old lad wrote a letter to the chairman of Brighton, and the only amount of money he had and could get together was £15 and 7p. So he sent him a formal offer of £15 and 7p,
for
7p
Ben White.
for Ben White. Obviously, I don't think he got accepted. They got a reply, classy reply from Brighton. To be fair, they actually responded to him, saying they had to reject, but they praised him for getting in touch and wanting to spend his pocket money on getting this deal over the line. It's fair play to him. Ben White's also responded, I believe,
Yeah, I think he was
himself.
going to invite him in and to a game when it
And
does come back up.
that's it. And again, that's a cost. I mean, if you're a United fan, you can't really disagree with
No,
that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's got
Um,
neat writing for a 5-year-old and being from Leeds, to be honest.
yeah, his mum and dad must have wrote that. Come
Yeah,
on.
come on,
Also,
boy.
why does a
I've got a 5-year-old. My 5-year-old cannot write like that.
well, also why does a 5-year-old have better handwriting, have more money than me?
I'm better handwriting than you. I'm amazed by that handwriting. I need to get to a handwriting class, guys.
I know, yeah, that's impressive actually. Yeah.
If
So
he did that, colour me impressed. I don't know if we can find that out.
yeah, we'll have
Use
to.
our wide links.
That's it. Our wide our wide links are our source in Italy, as we said in another
Yeah,
video. Um, Yeah, but
he
no,
might
this
have
this was
something
brilliant.
anyway.
It was such a nice story to see at this moment in time,
Hmm.
that this lad had decided to, write to Brighton to keep this player, and it was even nice to see that they'd replied and also the player had. So it just gave me a
Yeah,
bit of
he's
a
tearing it up Ben White, isn't he?
bit of
So
a smile. It was nice.
really spoke about quite highly. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
What have we
So
got to say about Wilder?
I saw a headline earlier in the week, and I thought this has to make it to the sports highlight of the week. It can't not. So the news here is Wilder. Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder. He's making changes to his backroom team. Apparently he's found a snake in the camp. He's bringing in some new people. He's keeping two of his sort of main top guys, which
Yeah.
is Breland and J. What's he called? J something. JD's. I think he's called his main trainer.
Has he got rid of the
Um,
guy that threw in the towel?
it might have been one of the guys. Yeah, he might have been one of the
Yeah.
snakes. To be honest, he might have saved his life almost, that guy, because he was getting leathered.
He
Um,
was.
I mean, for me, I love the fact that he had, sorry, he had 44 fights. He won 43 of them. Everything was good. As soon as he lost one, that's it. It's snakes in the camp. His suit's too heavy. He wasn't right. He wasn't himself. And it's like, eh, are you joking? I mean, for me, I'd argue we shouldn't even have a rematch because he got bullied in there. He got
I,
beat up bad.
to be honest, I wouldn't even want to see a third fight. I wouldn't pay for it.
I think in his
Um,
heart of hearts, Wilder doesn't want it because how much better can he get fighting backwards in a few weeks?
yeah.
Not
Because
that
if
much
Fury
better.
comes on him again, it's one of them. He never known how to fight backwards, has he?
This
And
is it.
Fury
Yeah,
exposed him
yeah.
on
This
that.
isn't it. And
Like
he
he
and he
struggled against
really
that
did.
Ortiz. Yeah, he struggled against that Ortiz, who obviously Tyson Fury like says 59 years old or however old he's calling him this week. Because Ortiz was going at him for 6 rounds and he struggled against him, and then obviously got the power punch,
Yeah.
but there was no way he was throwing it in that fight.
That's the only
And
thing he's got in his arsenal really well. He's got that left hook.
yeah,
Um,
he's not got a conventional style at all, has he really?
no.
Boxing wise, not that I'm a boxing expert, and obviously I won't want to step in a ring with Deontay Wilder at all because he'd knock me flat out.
Coming up in the
But
summer of this year, me Ant versus Joshua and Nick versus Wilder. We both fancy going into hospital for a long period of time.
well, the payday's pretty good, I guess.
Is it worth it?
Probably not.
I hate
But
the fact
yeah,
that he hasn't been graceful in defeat as well, from my
no,
opinion.
yeah. Why
He's a
couldn't he just
champion.
accept it?
That's it. And he held them belts for so long. He should have been
Yeah,
more graceful in that defeat. He should have maybe touched gloves or something, or
yeah. Well,
embraced it at the end. I didn't see any of that, and he always then after he's gone, oh, it was this, or it was that, and I
it's
just
not
don't like the way he's
even.
not graceful.
Yeah, I mean, it was his choice to put on that suit that was so heavy
He
for
always
him.
puts on stuff like that, doesn't he?
He's a weirdo.
Mm.
Like, you know, I just think he's come up with too many excuses in my book. It's like he's like your mum and he writing into the principal or PE teacher when you not can't do PE or fake sick note. It's just one of them.
Anyway, we'll move on from this one. Real football news. Everyone
Here we
stop.
go.
Real football news alert.
So here we've got the Belarusian Premier League table. Obviously, we've all picked our favourite team in Belarus.
Woo.
I don't want to say this because they're top, but I do say FK Sluts SK. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Slut SK have got the best name. That's probably my pronunciation there. But I've personally picked Dynamo Minsk. I don't know much about them. I'm not going to lie to you. Who have you picked, Ant? Have you made a decision yet?
I
know you're
quite
still
like
struggling.
Belshina Bob Shrick,
Belshina.
Bob Shrick, Rich. I don't know how you say it.
The bottom of the table.
The bottom of the table, but I reckon they're going to bring that back. I think they
You
can bring that back. I really
just
do.
missing the relegation battles of old, aren't you, mate?
I
That's
am.
what it is. Reminiscing.
It's nice, but they're not in the last five. Drawn two. Got 2 points out of the last five. Don't know what the transfer budget's like at that place. Don't know what sort of players they have. They've not got that first win yet, but I could think there could be an upset on the cards here. They could turn this round.
Maybe. Well, I just wanted to paint you back to the 17th of April, 5:30 Belarusian time, at the Stadion Boldenik. Shakhtar were taking on Slut SK, and Slut SK raced into a 2-goal lead before half time. And, because they were so cocky, they scored an own goal at the end through Coanda in the 89th minute. He pretty much just kicked it in the back of the net for them. But yeah, it was just not enough for Shakhtar, and they're struggling as well at the minute. So Slut SK, I think, are looking quite strong at the moment. I know it's quite a close league. It's closer than ours
Yeah.
at the
Thanks
moment.
for that.
Sorry, I mean, not really your fault,
You
but
dick.
sort of your fault. So yeah, obviously let's get excited about Belarusian football. I know you can watch it on Bet365,
You can.
and I'm not really plugging betting websites there. Just know you can. From personal
If you're over
experience.
18.
If you're over 18, yeah, obviously. There was 253 in attendance, so they need all the views they can get.
There we go.
But yeah, until real football returns, this is what we've got, guys.
This is real football.
We will be keeping you updated on the Belarusian Premier League throughout this lockdown and maybe beyond.
We'll be watching Belshina climb that table, get out that relegation spot, maybe get a European place. Who knows? They're going places, that team.
Well,
okay.
I think Dynamo Minsk are, but
That's enough real football for this week anyway. Don't get too excited. I know that was exciting. Just calm yourselves down, take a breath, 3 breaths. And we'll move on to the next topic. And the final topic, actually. Wow, that came around fast. Captain Tom.
Feel good story. This is. What a guy. I mean, to actually do something like this at his age, at 99 years of age, I think he's on a Zimmer frame. I know he's definitely got a walking stick. Should be doing paces in your garden. I know it's only 25 meters, but 100 times 2,500 meters. He's raised 26 million or something like that for the NHS. You're 99, coming up to 100 this year, I think.
Oh, no. I don't think I could do that.
No, I don't think you could do that now, mate. But yeah, it's just really good to see someone taking a stand doing
Do
something really good and positive during this horrible, horrible lockdown and horrible, horrible pandemic.
I think it makes it even better that obviously older people are affected by this obviously situation that's going on,
Yeah,
and he's took the time out to go. I'm not going to sit in and be scared and sit around and mope and yes, that and the other. He's got
yeah.
up and he's gone and done something and raised some money. I think that's brilliant. I think that's awesome, to be honest.
Honestly, I
Credit
think
to him.
he deserves the knighthood.
Oh yeah,
Definitely now. I know he was honoured back in his, obviously during his service after World War II. He was
yeah,
honoured then, but he definitely deserves a knighthood after this.
yeah, 100%. I'd
Um,
agree with that.
100%. So yeah, he's just been a really good. It's not. I suppose you can't really say it's sport, but he's doing a physical activity. So there you go,
That's it.
Captain Tom, legend.
Okay, yes, that's everything for this week's Shot News. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like down below. If anything comes up in the next week that you'd like us to discuss or put into the Shot News, please do let us know in the comments or let us know on Twitter. The link is in the description below. And until next time, we will see you in the next video.
See you later, guys.